I've always been interested in filmmaking. When I was maybe around 5 to 10, I don't really remember, but I do remember building Lego sets and out of like shoeboxes, and then painted decor, maybe like a medieval castle, and then I used stop motion with the camera, and and I recreated scenes with the stop motion. When I went to when I was in high school in Canadian Academy for my senior project, I remember we had to do something that took the whole year, and had some risk, and pretty much we had to put it's like a final exam in a sense, a senior project. So what I did was I put together a film. I wrote the script, I scouted the locations, got the actors, pre-production, and then we shot it, and then I put it together, and I screened it in May of '95. So I remember that was a very interesting project. It was actually a take on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, so it's an episode that I created called Hidden Identities. So I did that. I got really serious though when I went to USC, and I studied cinema. And I wrote, several scripts, including a fantasy saga and a sci-fi saga. Then in 2002, when I was actually at UCLA taking extension courses, I teamed up with a filmmaking partner and friend of mine. Has been a friend ever since, named Emanuel, and we made Her Night, and that was in 2003. And then because of Her Night, people had more faith in me as a filmmaker to take me on to their own projects, and I helped a fellow filmmaker named David Coparubias with his zombie film called The Diary, and I helped produce that one. I helped Emil Harris with his own directing debut called Mabbit, and I helped produce that. And then I decided, it's time to do a second project of my own. And so I put together Girl with Gun, and you can see the DVD soundtrack up there. Girl with Gun, I guess, is the reason I'm talking today. Well, as I said, January, we started the writing process. By March, initial pre-production. May, we auditioned, and we cast the actors. And we were very specific in what we wanted, because we needed an actor, especially for the main character, Gwen Hunter, who's a superhero assassin. We needed her to be both an actor in the sense that, she has to have acting ability and fighting ability. So she had to have some martial arts experience. Same thing with the Ninja Girl character, because she's going to be the one in wirework, and we had wirework in the film. That's when she was jumping on the wall in the pivotal scene in the film. So when we cast the actors, we definitely had that in mind. And I was talking with the stunt coordinator, which is Jeff Scott, and the martial arts director, Sebastian Besch, and the second unit director, Dim Chan Tong. So then we cast the actors. We had rehearsals, both fight and acting rehearsals. And then we shot in July. So we had 2 months of rehearsals, basically. So in July then, we got to a point where we're ready. So we were shooting over 5 days, over 2 weekends. I remember, it was, the worst part of it was very hot. But it was definitely a very fun experience. I remember the best scene was actually the one between Gwen Hunter and her best friend Mitzi, and that's at we shot in Huntington Beach there, and that was a very fun experience, and very fun to do. Well, it cost around $30,000. In fact, about $32,000 would be the final tally. That includes pre-production, production, post, and then film festival submissions. I meant basically the money was spent over a good 2 to 3 years. So, if you want to look at it that way, altogether it was about $30,000. Where did you get the money? Well, part of it out of my pocket, which is what many beginning independent filmmakers have to do. But also I had 2 friends who believed in me based on my previous projects, and they are the executive producers. They donated a lot of the money, to put it that way. So altogether, it made it possible to shoot this thing. Well, the cameras that we used were the Panasonic DVX100 cameras. We had 3 of them, and one of them was the advanced one. So we had one DVX100A and 2 DVX100s. And this was necessary, especially during the fight sequence, for continuity issues. So instead of having one camera shoot all the takes in different shots, we had 3 cameras, one here, one there, and another here, all shooting the same thing. So when you go to edit it, then it's much easier, especially the wirework sequence that we had. The editing program, we use Final Cut Pro, and very good program. Definitely highly recommended.